ever looked outside and said to yourself, yeah, nobody's fishing in this weather? And if you are, you're pretty crazy. Well, everybody, good to meet you. Welcome to On-Foot Bass, and I'm that crazy knucklehead. So, today, obviously, is the middle of winter. It is the end of January right now in New Jersey, and I'm going to try to catch some snow bass. I've been really getting good on this bait. This is a 3/16 ounce Johnson Thinfisher blade bait. This has quickly become my favorite blade bait, especially for only $3.49. But good build, great action, small trebles. Yeah, that's the only thing that I don't like is the little trebles, and you can't really make a bigger because the line just keeps getting tangled on them. It's really, one of the issues with blade baits. So I'm going to try to give you some tips today on fishing this. Let's see what happens. So, okay guys, when it comes to winter bass fishing, there are a few types of places that these fish love to hang out in, especially. Okay, there are a few specific areas that you want to look at. Lakes, ponds, reservoirs. You want to look for just deep holes, the center of the pond, center of the lake, especially if it's like a natural lake. Bluff walls, so like where the channel kind of swings against the shoreline. Sharp banks, maybe like ultra deep water humps. Okay. But one of the big things is that, so in the summer, right, fish are pretty scattered. You'll have fish shallow, and you'll have fish deep. But when you have fish deep, you'll have a lot of different areas where you can still find them. The problem with winter is that a lot of these fish, it's not really a problem, it's just really, really hard to find fish. Okay, and it's also hard to catch them because they're lethargic. But there's a lot of times you have to figure out exactly where they are. Ooh, I think I just had one. So I'm going to get into it. I got to remember not to pull so hard with this lure. It's one, a habit I need to break. So I literally, recently I've been finding these fish just like stacked up in a little tiny section. And it's a sharp bank. It's the deepest drop-off we have in this pond. And these fish are just stacked in a little corner of this pond. And I'm not saying there's no fish anywhere else. There most definitely has to be. This is where I found active fish. And sometimes you can even find them and they won't be active at all. So winter is definitely tricky. Definitely a mental warfare. The leader caught me, God, son of a bitch. So, way I'm fishing this is 15-pound braided line to a 6-pound Hi-Seas fluorocarbon leader. And I'm just doing tiny little hops. These fish in the winter time, especially on cloudy days like this, will get low to the bottom. Bellies in the mud really will get low. Also, another thing, if you could find like rock or especially rock, in the winter you're also golden. So you find rock, deep water, you're pretty much good. So basically what I'm doing, I just threw it. I'm just working it on an angle along this main drop. All I do, I just hop the bait. The second I feel that bait slowly start to vibrate, the second I feel that bait vibrate, I kill it. It's short, subtle hops. Nothing aggressive. Every single fish right now in the system moving slow. Bass, the bait fish. This is looking like a dying shad falling on the bottom and flickering up. And we get this little right in front of their face. They'll just kind of open their mouths and they'll hit it on the fall, so when we go to lift up again, he's on there. Now when you're fishing this microblade, one thing I've really noticed that's important is the hook set. Now, how do you set the hook with this bait? You really don't set the hook. What do I mean by that? I found with these little tiny trebles, if you pull, you're going to pull the bait right out of the fish's mouth. Okay? You're going to pull the bait right out of his mouth. I got one. All I did, I just felt him and I reeled. Felt my line get heavy and I just reeled. There's a decent one. Alrighty, it's a nice one. See that? Hooked perfectly, right in the top of the mouth. Not a giant, but there he is. Nice, say maybe a 12-incher. So that's exactly what just happened. You know, I was just doing short, tiny little hops. A lot of times in the winter, going ultra small could be the difference maker. Using an ultra tiny blade bait. Just to give you an idea, this bait's about the size, somewhere between the size of a dime and a nickel, and it's a really small bait. And all I'm doing are these subtle, subtle hops. So all I did is when I felt my rod, so when you lift up, the bites feel like the baits get like it got heavy, and all I'm doing is just reeling, kind of like a circle hook.
All right, so I'm just about to give a quick closing remark, but at this point, my guides really started freezing up, and it just got almost impossible to fish effectively. So I wrapped it up shortly. So thank you for watching. Just hang tight for this, and yeah, maybe I should get some like real snot or some. I don't even know. If you guys have any comments of stuff to buy to prevent your line guides from freezing on your rods, definitely let me know. I would really appreciate it. Hey, I just wanted to really quickly clarify something that I just said. When I meant that like bass are a little bit harder to locate in the winter, let me just kind of explain that. It's actually very predictable. There's only a few types of places that they will hang out, like I just mentioned, channel swings, the deep holes in the lakes, deep water humps, steep drop-offs, maybe even the end of a very long point. But that point has to have access to really deep water. Or in like smaller ponds, like they'll stack up by the dam. And if you can find some sort of hard cover, that's a must too, or a definite bonus. If your pond doesn't have any, then oh well. But if you can find that, like cha-ching, you're on the money. But what I'm trying to explain is that you might have like 30 spots in a lake that look good, but when it gets to the winter time, for some reason, only a few out of those 30 spots that were usually good in the summertime that you would think would look good in the wintertime as well have fish. These fish really seem to group up in the wintertime, and in the best looking stuff, and sometimes you may not understand why they choose one particular area over another, but for some reason these fish, they tend to just gravitate to a few specific areas that kind of fit that rule of where to find winter bass. Please check the video description for links to products used in this video and affiliate links. Thank you.